Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about scientific notation. Here are the problems that we'll do. Also, to make sure that we don't take ourselves too seriously, let's think about our fun question. What is your favorite snack to eat when you get home from a long day? Okay, so math section looks like this. We have pre-algebra. Scientific notation would fall under that pre-algebra. So specifically, you'd have to perform operations with scientific notation. It's rare that you would just have to convert a number in standard form to scientific notation. So let's talk about basics of scientific notation before we get into adding and subtracting and then multiplying and dividing. Okay, scientific notation always has a number in the ones place followed by a point and then a number in the tenths place. Sometimes we see more numbers after the tenths. We get into the hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, and so on. So another thing we have to remember is that 10 to the third, for example here, means a 1 and 3 zeros. So that's the same thing as 1,000. So the 6.36, if I wanted to figure out what number that actually is in that standard form, I could move this decimal place over 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And so my new number is 6,360. Okay, then 5.8 times 10 to the negative first. When I see that negative exponent, I know that I need to take the 5.8 and move the decimal place over 1 to the left. So this way we went to the right, this way we need to go to the left. So that is the same thing as 0.58. Now I can take my calculator out and subtract. Remember, you have that on this test. So 6,359.42. But see, that's not in scientific notation. So what I need to do is make sure that the decimal place ends between that 6 and the 3, between the ones place and the tenths place. So I need to go over 1, 2, 3, and that tells me that this answer is going to be 6.35942 times, and then now is it 10 to the third or 10 to the negative third? Well, in order to convert from this number to the actual number, remember the actual number is in the thousands. So that means I need a positive 3, because if I was going to convert this, I'd move it over 3 spaces this way and I'd get my actual answer. So there we have a final answer in scientific notation. Now, if you didn't want to have to convert every number into our standard form beforehand, maybe we want to find some shortcuts, we can think of this problem using the associative property of multiplication. Isn't this the same thing as 3.48 times the 9.8 and then times the 10 to the third times 10 to the fourth? So what I can do is kind of group those numbers. So I get 3.48 times 9.8, and that is 34.104. Now, you'll learn this in Algebra 1, but this is an exponent rule. But 10 to the third times 10 to the fourth is actually 10 to the seventh, because you can add the 3 and the 4. This final answer, though, is not in scientific notation yet, because that answer does not have the decimal place in the proper spot. So what I need to do is move this over 1 and think 3.4104. Is that going to be times 10 to the 6th or 8th? Well, if I moved this over 1 to get the actual answer, I actually need that 10 to the 8th. It would not be 10 to the 6th. I know I'm moving it 1 from that 7, but the question is 10 to the 6th or 8th. The final answer is 10 to the 8th, because these two answers would give you the same final number in standard form. Okay, so final answer there, final answer here. Now, let's jump into some practice problems. One being addition and then the other being division. Now, my only hint for division is remember when I added the 3 and the 4 earlier because I was multiplying those 10 to the third and 10 to the fourth? Right here, a trick is you can subtract 6 and 1. That's an exponent rule, like I said, that you learn in Algebra 1. So take a second, you can pause the video and I will reveal the answers. There they are. Before we part, I always want to leave you with a quote. This is a really good one. I like to find quotes that help you with your motivation through learning this math as well as preparing for a very large cumulative test. And it says the heaviest burdens that we carry are the thoughts in our head. I love this. There's nothing stopping you from getting that perfect score or rocking, this content in your class. And this is a nice reminder of that. So I hope the video helped you in some way. Please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with more videos. Now that you've had time to ponder the fun question, I'd love to see your answers in the comments, and have a great day.